This is Golf with Jay Delsing. A two-time All-American at UCLA. A participant in nearly 700 PGA Tour events. 7 professional wins to his credit. Over 30 years of professional golf experience. A member of the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
This is Golf with Jay Delsing on a Sunday morning on 101 ESPN as we come to you from the CarShield Studios, and we're brought to you by Daugherty Business Solutions. With Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin. A loaded show of guests for you. Popticals, what is it? It's a locally based St. Louis group helping golfers with their eyewear. We'll visit with Gary DeSalvo, his wife Dana DeSalvo, both the CEO, COO of Popticals, and that is coming up in our next segment. They'll be in studio. Sports Outreach Manager from SSM Health Physical Therapy to help you with your game, your body. That's Brad Henderson. And then a guy that you know very well, Adam Wainwright, former St. Louis Cardinals pitcher. He is busy singing, joining MLB Network, doing a little bit of everything. And so are we in the next 2 hours. Always great to see you, Jay. Good morning.
Danny, good morning. Great to be with you. Yeah, what a cool lineup we have. Where do you start? The Popticals, Gary and Dana, are really super neat people. We saw them out at the Golf Expo a couple weeks ago. They had their cool displays out there, their lenses. You know, I said to you, you got to check out these lenses. And so that'll be fun to get some information from them. And Short Cat, our buddy from SSM, great guy, former trainer for the St. Louis Cardinals, Pittsburgh Pirates. And then you got Waino, who's, he used to have one job. Now he's got, half a dozen or something. So,
yeah he said he was going to stay home more. I guess that's out the window.
He's hard to keep up with. He did say, I think they got a new puppy, so they're taking on a lot of different, wearing a lot of different hats at the Wainwright household.
Okay, also Tiger is back in action this weekend. We'll get to that in just a moment, but let's go back last weekend, the Waste Management. Interesting finish, interesting leaderboard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, D. It's a great catch by you. You know, when you watch the PGA Tour, the players are typically always grouped together. And what I mean by that is that very seldom do you see one guy break away from the pack and win by more than 3. More times than not, the events go into playoffs or there's a one-shot win, maybe a 2-shot win. Very seldom do you see anybody win by more. Last week, it was just odd because you had Taylor and Charlie Hoffman at 21 under. Then you had Scotty Scheffler, and I'm going to pull up the folks that were with him. I can't remember who was in second, but there were 2 players at 18 under, and then the next group of players I think were all the way down to 14 under. So you had some weird weather. You had some odd conditions that the guys are not used to competing in, but man, you got to take your hat off to Nick Taylor.
Yeah.
Going low like he did, and Charlie Hoffman changing his grip, making his grip 20% stronger to hit it a little further. And Charlie Hoffman's a great story. I'd love to get him on the show. He is an amazingly hard worker, Danny.
So you talked about changing his grip. Describe that to our listeners in terms of making this a stronger grip and a grip that allows him to get maybe a little bit more distance.
Yeah, so he's a right-handed player, so he took his left hand, his top hand, and moved it clockwise over to his right to strengthen it up a little bit. So it's going to try to – he went from having the club more open at the top to more shut at the top, and he's trying to play basically from a different position that he's not been used to his whole career. And that's a hard change, and you got to take your hat off to him because it's really working.
Absolutely. Jay Delsing, Dan McLaughlin, a lot of guests coming up here on Golf with Jay Delsing. The LIV event was held in Vegas during the Super Bowl. It didn't even move the needle whatsoever. You had a great leaderboard. Dustin Johnson wins the event. I'm telling you, Jay, I'm friends with a lot of golfers. You are too, obviously, and no one is paying attention to LIV, even with some of the biggest names out there.
Not even a whisper, Danny. Yeah. And it was the weirdest finish of an event I maybe have ever seen. With, 3 holes left, we got, 6 guys tied for lead, and these are players. John Rahm was one of them. DJ's up there. There's lots of really good players. Bryson DeChambeau. Before you know it, John Rahm shanks a ball on his very last hole with a wedge. And listen, I've done that before. It's crazy, but wow.
Yeah, hard to believe a guy like that does it, but everybody does it.
Right, and then what wound up happening was the entire field just fell apart. It was just and DJ I think made 1 birdie in his last 3 or 4 holes and a couple of pars, a couple of 2 putts, kept the ball on the planet, kept it in front of him, and wins his 4th championship out on Live.
A couple of tee shots for John Rahm. He had to step away and his caddy, and then he himself tried to calm the crowd down, quiet them down. Good luck with that. I mean, John, this is what you signed up for. This is what Live is all about.
Right. This is a free-for-all, right? So this is these guys don't care about the golf etiquette. These guys don't care about all that stuff, Danny. It's on.
All right, let's tip our cap. Tip of the cap is brought to you by the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. And we're going to tip our cap to Popticals as well as SSM Health Physical Therapy. So a couple of groups that are trying to help you become better golfers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to thank Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood and our friend Colin Byrne, 314-966-0303. Colin is a great guy. It says Volkswagen in their title, but they can get you anything you want. Yeah, we're going to tip our cap to Dana and Gary and also to Shortcat and the over 80 locations for SSM physical health and physical rehabilitation. I had my knee replaced. It'll be 4 years in November, and I went to one of their facilities. It was right around the corner. It was extremely convenient, and it was just absolutely fantastic. I told you last year with this new knee, I picked up about 10 or 12 yards with every club in the bag, and it was really super fun. And then with Gary and Dana DeSalvo with Popticals, I love the fact that they're trying to grow this thing kind of grassroots, Danny. They've got a good product, a great product with awesome lenses. And, look, it's an uphill swim. You've got
Oakley, a bunch of these
all
places,
of these guys that have all of these, huge names out there in Maui Gym and all that. But I got to tell you, from a product standpoint, these can hold their own.
That's Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Golf with Jay Delsing, off and running. We're going to talk about golf eyewear, sunglasses with the folks at Popticals. That's coming up next.
That was On the Range. Up next, we tee it up as we head to the front nine. You're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
I'm delighted to welcome the Amateur Players Tour to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. The APT team has worked so hard to establish a national golf tour for amateurs. Folks, don't miss out on this opportunity. If you love golf and ever wondered what all the fuss about tournament golf is, then this tour is for you. We just released the 2024 schedule, and it is a beast. There's 21 events currently in the metropolitan St. Louis area with many more to come. But check out these golf courses: Paynes Valley, Ozark National, Stonewolf, Ambrier, Persimmon Woods, Gateway National, and a 36-hole event on Norwood's West Course, and many more. Okay, so the courses are certainly cool and nice, but what's really neat is the way the events are run and how they are run. The APT team does a fantastic job of closely monitoring handicaps and ensuring a good and fair competition. There are 5 divisions, a year-long points competition, major championships, elevated events, and much, much more. Right now, there are over 6,000 members in 41 different local chapters across the country, and all that's happened in just over 5 years. Join now and don't miss out on the best tournament golf in the country, run for amateurs by amateurs themselves. Go to amateurplayerstour.com. That's amateurplayerstour.com.
Get ready to watch the legends of golf up close when they compete at historic Norwood Hills Country Club right here in St. Louis. The Ascension Charity Classic will be back again with some of golf's biggest names: Steve Stricker, Padraig Harrington, John Daly, David Duval, Bernard Langer, Ernie Els, and more will return September 3rd through the 8th at Norwood Hills. All tournament proceeds go to area charities serving North St. Louis County youth and families. Sponsorship opportunities, Pro-Am foursomes, and more information available for you at AscensionCharityClassic.com.
Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing you thousands of dollars. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year, which is 4 times the rate of inflation. If an unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready for that? Well, now you can be with a plan through CarShield. Even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. Your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. Traveling by car is a way of life. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are a daily essential. When you enroll in a car protection plan through CarShield, you can look forward to the following. The price will never go up no matter how many claims you file, or no matter how high the mileage on your car increases. CarShield offers protection plans that start as low as $100 per month. That's $100 per month. They have repair coverage for up to 5,000 different parts of your vehicle. Plus, when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road, you get 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance. You also get complimentary towing and rental car options. CarShield has my back when my car breaks down, and they can have yours too. Call CarShield today at 800-465-6550 or visit carshield.com. It's CarShield, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Hi, this is Peter Jacobson, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, any make or model, then you need to visit the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. They are the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. My daughter and I both drive vehicles supplied by Colin and the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, and it's because we know we can trust them. They made the car buying experience painless and easy, and their customer service is second to none. Every single step of the car buying experience was taken care of for us. You can reach Colin at 314-966-0303, and he will answer all of your questions and put your mind at ease. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood has new or pre-owned vehicles to be purchased or leased, whichever you prefer. Once you visit the Dean Team Volkswagen on Manchester in Kirkwood, you'll be a customer for life because they will treat you like family. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
This is the Front Nine, presented by the Ascension Charity Classic. To learn more, visit AscensionCharityClassic.com.
Golf with Jay Delsing on a Sunday morning rolls on. With Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin, coming to you from the CarShield studios. We're presented by Daugherty Business Solutions. In studio from Popticals, we're going to get into that in just a moment. Gary DeSalvo, the CEO, his wife, the COO, Dana DeSalvo. And guys, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Excited to be here.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Gary. What is Popticals?
Popticals is a premium sunglass brand that offers world-class lenses and made in Italy, so the highest craftsmanship. But the thing that makes them unique, aside from just being premium sunglasses, is they actually collapse into a small case which will fit right in your pocket or golf bag.
I can vouch for the lenses. These lenses are absolutely fantastic. But Gary and Dana, let's talk a little bit about the story, because I've followed Popticals and was aware of this brand coming out, and then it just kind of fell off the planet. Tell us a little bit about the story, how you guys got involved in the brand.
Yeah, so Popticals was invented by an inventor here in St. Louis several years back. The need was around 2011 is when the concept started to come about. Really was skiing and was thinking about want to have his sunglasses at the top of the mountain, but where do you put them? And so started coming up with an idea on how to collapse these sunglasses, and they took it to market and started to launch. They're, for whatever reason, they ceased operations, not because of the performance, just for some other issues. And we were able to find Popticals. We were looking for an opportunity to work together. Dana's had her own business for several years, and I had been helping her more and more, when I wasn't in my corporate role. And we were looking for something great to do together, and this fell in our lap, and it was a no-brainer for us. I mean, unbelievable brand, unbelievable opportunity. We jumped all over it.
So, Dana, you're working with your husband. Is it that unbelievable opportunity or what?
Yes, it is super exciting every day.
So what is it like? I mean, you got into this business. What's it been like for you?
It's been fun. We're learning so much about the eyewear industry, things that, we've bought many different types all the time, but we're learning that there's much more to purchasing eyewear, than just the aesthetics of it. There's reasons for purchasing a certain lens over another, depending on the activity you're doing. We are really connected with our lens manufacturer, Carl Zeiss Vision, and they are teaching us so much about new technologies that's coming out that we're super excited to hopefully add to our line. It's been a really fun experience working with our international manufacturers.
Guys, what's interesting is before Tiger Woods came out, none of things like covering your eyes, everyone thought about wearing sunglasses because it was outside, but had no idea of the health benefit. And now Tiger has all these eyeballs and all of this money involved in the game. And all of a sudden, we started towards the tail end of my career, we started having doctors come in and say, you're crazy not to have some sort of eyewear, some eye protection, but they were all polarized.
Right.
And so I couldn't ever get used to it because it distorted the ground. Talk a little bit about what that is and why that is.
Absolutely. So just to preface it, our lineup as Popticals, we have 130 plus different variations of glasses for all kinds of activities, as Dana mentioned. And so when she talked about being specific for a sport, she uses a great analogy all the time. Right? You wouldn't go run on the beach with running shoes or in an ideal state, and you wouldn't go run a marathon in flip-flops, right? So just like shoes, we think about what activity, what you should use. It's the same with eyeglasses and sunglasses. So of our lineup, we have a very specific golf line. That's what you're referencing. So for these specific glasses and that activity, for golf, non-polarized is what you want. And the reason is this. Polarization it's become really popular over the years as like the have-to in sunglasses because it reduces excess glare. But to do that, what it's doing is it's actually flattening the image you see. And golf is a target game, as you know, and we don't want to flatten the image, right?
It changes your depth perception, right?
That is the biggest thing, right? So you are significantly impacting your depth perception. And being a game of distances and even small distances, especially when you get on the putting green, feet, right? You don't want to have depth perception. There's also other side effects with your peripheral vision and depth perception, like you talked about. Just the ground maybe feels like it's doing funny things, right? So that's an automatic benefit by just the non-polarization. But there's other factors within our glasses that help them become golf specific, and they really are made to enhance your performance in the game.
Dana, talk a little bit about the picture that you showed us before we went on the air, which was the same spot, the same hole, where one picture it's not blurred, but it's definitely darker, and then your sunglasses are able to brighten it up to look like you're in the middle of summer on a green. How does that happen, and tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the first thing that I noticed on that picture that you're looking at right now is how bright the green is without sunglasses. And it can be very tiresome for your eyes. And when you wear our sunglasses, it takes out the green saturation. Green is the most receptive color to your eye. So if you're constantly looking at it, and of course is just covered in green, obviously. So when you wear our sunglasses, it filters out the green so you can see the subtle nuances of the course, like the hazards and the ridges. Not only that, when you're on the green putting, you'll see the difference. I mean, minimal differences, but the darker shades of the grain, which will help you, or lighter shades, which will help you determine if it's an uphill or a downhill.
So it really does help, as Jay said, and you guys were talking about depth perception.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's got to be huge.
Right.
You know what else is interesting that you guys hit on is that back in the day, any pictures I have when I was playing well, when I was playing poorly, whatever, but I always had this squint. There was always a squint, and when I first started wearing sunglasses, I didn't wear them to hit, but I wore them in between my shots because it felt so relaxing facially. So it sounds crazy, but the muscles in my eyes, my 4 or 5 head that I have here going, just that constant squint for hours being outside was exhausting.
Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting that you said that even the first time I met you, right? So as you know, with these glasses, immediately what we noticed is people are seeing something different, right? With the clarity, they're seeing some different colors, and they are made to do that. And so with that being said, right, like we wanted to have a way to help people better understand what they're seeing, and we engaged Dr. Craig Farnsworth, butt doctor,
absolutely.
for a couple reasons. One, he's an eye doctor and can help us determine what colors we're seeing and why, but also to tie that into how would you read a putt and so forth. And so the reason I bring that up, one, is because there's a lot of support for our glasses afterwards to help you use them effectively. But in the beginning, that was the intent. My ask of him was like, can you help people understand what they're seeing with the glasses? The front half of the conversation, he kept going back to what you were talking about. It had nothing to do with the glasses. I kept wanting to bring him back because he said what you won't realize, and you reinforced it for me, is that if you're squinting all day, you're drying your eyes out. And if you've ever been on the 13th or 14th hole, you're not physically tired, but it's mentally tired. That's your eyes having an impact on your body. And it's one of those things where, the expert knows best, but we might say, I'm just tired. I'm thinking a lot. No, it's actually has a direct correlation to your eyes, the blinking, the glare, the squinting of the whole body is impacted by that. And then we get into the benefits once you're wearing them, right?
Gary DeSalvo, the CEO of Popticals, his wife, COO, Dana, is here. And I want to talk about, to you, Dana, just the wraparound effect that everything is covered when you put these glasses on.
Yes, it's going to give you the coverage on your peripheral too, so you're not going to get any of the light coming in from the side. Not only that, wraparound is beneficial for like if it's on a windy out, you're not going to get any of the dust. Hopefully you're not in the sand trapped and getting sand in your eyes.
Danny never hits it in the sand.
No, that never happens to me.
But yeah, the wraparound is definitely going to give you that the UV 400 protection as well.
So what is UV 400 protection?
It's going to give you 100%. It filters out the UVA and UVB rays from the sun.
So it's huge.
Yes, it's huge.
And those are the real harmful ones, right?
Right.
That over a long period of time can really do some damage to our eyes.
Correct. And if we don't wear the proper eyewear when we're outside, it could cause cancer of the eyes. A lot of people don't wear sunglasses, and that could be a direct result of it.
Our group, I Promise, is a friend of the show, and they have these eye vitamins. And so Danny and I have kind of gotten in the weeds on how important all of this stuff is. Guys, so you have the golf niche, and it's really cool. My friend Danny over here I've been a fisherman my whole life, but we have started doing some clay shooting and some things like that, and he's not an expert marksman, but he's really, really good.
I just enjoy it. I like blowing up things. It's fun.
So talk a little bit about, do you have glasses for shooting? I know you have glasses for fishing.
Well, you just gave it away, Jay.
Well, we'll give you an exclusive here, Jay. Okay,
right here on the show.
Yeah. All right. Now you kind of baited us into it. Right. We do have glasses for sport-specific activities, like we said, like Dana had mentioned before. Every sport has a different combination of lenses. For fishing, you want polarized for sure, but depending on where you're fishing, whether it be a lake, a river, the lighting conditions, offshore, those are all different lens colors. So it's not just as important just to make sure you have polarized. If you want the best performance, just have the colors. We'll be launching sometime, let's call it late April, early May. We have a new line coming out, and it's a ballistics lens. We're really excited about it. The same technology, except we have the lenses in there are going to be a little different. They are ANSI Plus certified. They have military-grade certifications, and we're really excited. That'll be our first venture into that market with the line, but it's a really cool offering, not just for safety eyewear, but for ballistics and shooters. And we have those in the colors that you would imagine.
Danny, that's what's happened to my shooting.
There you go.
I don't have the right eyewear.
You know, Dana, I would imagine you have a number of different types of glasses. People still want to look good. So how many glasses do you have?
I have a lot, and I actually wear I pick my glasses according to my outfit that day.
Okay.
Because we do have, like Gary said, we have like 135 different variations, from the lens colors, mirror to, tortoiseshell, gloss, matte, and so yeah. Some people are shoe people. I guess now I'm a sunglass person.
And one of the things too is that this folds up very, very easily.
Yes.
The glasses actually fold up, and it's not cumbersome for the player.
No, so we like to say we're more than foldable. We collapse. We're the most collapsible size that you can get into a small case that's fit specifically for that lens or that frame, and it fits in the palm of your hand after you collapse it, and it probably weighs, no more than an ounce.
Wow.
Guys, one of the things that pisses me off when I get a favorite pair of sunglasses is scratch in the lens.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, because, you'll set them down, and that's one of the things with your guys' design that almost makes that obsolete.
It makes it obsolete. I mean, our glasses are scratch resistant just like every other pair of sunglasses. But, yeah, the protection in the case, especially if you're going to, I can keep 3 or 4 pairs in my jean pockets and you don't even notice it. So it's the portability, the convenience. Now, ideally, obviously there's times where you just want to lift your glasses up for a minute or something like that. But if you're taking them off, it's very simple and quick to fold them in this little collapsible size. One of the things that's great for me is Dana now will keep my sunglasses in her purse, where she refused to for years because they're so big, and she keeps the kids. She in a crossover, she fits 3 or 4 pairs.
How about the reception at the golf show? We just had the Golf Expo in St. Charles, but for both of you guys, either one can take it. How was the reception of those that love this game?
I think a lot of people were shocked at how cool these are, and another thing is what we're finding is people are buying sunglasses and not being educated on the right sunglasses. They need to ask the questions, and the people selling the sunglasses need to be asking the questions as well. And what are you using them for? And I would say 75% of the people were wearing polarized gray lenses on the course, and that's the worst.
Depth perception. I keep going back to that.
Or even the gray lens is not going to help with the vision of the green. So, obviously, I'm sure there's other color lenses out there, like an amber or a rose. We specifically do purple and violet lenses, but gray definitely is not a good one, or polarized.
And you have to see these for yourself, folks, because you think of purple, you think of violet, at least my brain, and it doesn't click until you put them on your eye, and it's almost like you're putting, I don't know, there's comfort in it somehow.
Yes, it's interesting, Jay. We didn't choose purple and violet because we got some sort of 80s retro thing going on. Right? They're picked because on the color spectrum, what we're trying to do is really combat the oversaturation of green. So those colors were specifically picked, right? And one of the first things people see is, because, they're always displayed on a white background somehow, it looks purple and violet. You've had them on, I've had them on. They don't appear purple and violet when you're wearing them. It's just what we want to see out. Yeah. And the interesting thing is our lenses aren't just purple and violet. We actually use a different material than most other sunglasses. We use nylon lenses. Very few companies do that. That's offered through Zeiss. That's what makes them so light. That's what gives them that optical purity. So if you ever worn sunglasses for 6-8 hours, you get a headache, it's not going to happen with these. Nylon is as clear as glass. And you asked, Danny, the reception. I think the one thing for us, being a new company, that we've seen is as soon as people touch these and feel these, it's a no-brainer. What we actually started doing at the golf show in St. Charles, is as soon as somebody was interested, we walked out the front door, they put them on, they came back in, no questions, and they just ran the card. Every single one.
That's amazing.
And it's just... they're that clear,
Yep.
So price point on these, people are always going to ask, well, you're in competition with a lot of big names out there. Popticals is trying to become a big name in St. Louis. You are, and really nationwide. So people want to know about price points. What are those?
Yeah, so the retail price for these is $179, and we run sales and so forth here and there as well. Comparatively, again, I think the one thing to stress is the compactability is the cool feature. That's something no one else offers, but the real benefit of these glasses, they are premium sunglasses. We'll put them up against any other lenses out there, even on the higher priced ones. You can compare them and you'll see that. And then the bonus piece is none of those other glasses are going to fit in your pocket. You're not going to go to a concert in the daylight and then put them on your head when it gets dark and step on them. They're going to fit into your tiny pocket or be able to put them in a purse. I mean, there's a lot of mobility and portability features that really benefit you with these.
Guys, and when you talk about people love doing business with families, truly a mom and pop sort of business here.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're old enough to be mom and pop.
Yeah.
Right? Like mom and dad. Let's go with that.
Yeah. No, we are we even have our kids, 3 kids come and help. Our 7-year-old, not so much. He's more of just
and that would be illegal.
a time waste. But our teenagers and their friends come and help out too. But we love the community, and we're happy to be able to be considered a St. Louis company.
Yeah. The displays you guys that you put together at the St. Louis show were awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, and that was the first time we really had them in front of people other than online. And we're going to be doing Kansas City in 2 weeks, that golf show. And so we're even adjusting a little bit to enhance the displays. But thanks. I think they came out great, too. And it's a good representation of what we have to offer, I think.
What's the best way to look at the glasses, order glasses, get in contact with you guys if they have questions? Dana, where's the best place to go?
We are online at Popticals.com. We do have we're headquartered in Ellisville, but our website is truly robust. We have a virtual try-on. We have a quiz you can take if you're not sure which lenses or which type of sunglasses you want, but we have our answers facts section has a lot of questions and answers for you. So pretty robust website. So Popticals.com is where I would have everybody start.
Yeah. How about virtual though? That's
virtual
interesting.
Try on, yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
it's obviously you could do it right from your phone. You hit the button, it throws the glasses on you, and as long as your hand's in the same spot when you hit the button as when you're looking at them, it'll be true to size, and so that'll help. And I think the other thing that Dana, when we talk about what's on the website for golfers, Night F Golf is our lens. Our Night F Golf is a golf lens for us. We do have a robust center, like I mentioned, with Dr. Farnsworth and others contributing. A lot of articles on what you're going to see with these glasses and how to effectively use them. They're 3-minute articles, but if you want to get a feel for what the benefits really are for golf and how they can help your game, that's right at the top of our website as well, and you can go there and get some education about it.
Popticals.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Gary DeSalvo, Dana DeSalvo, the CEO, COO of Popticals, and this is Golf with Jay Delsing.
That was the Front Nine on Golf with Jay Delsing, presented by the Ascension Charity Classic. We're halfway home, and next, we'll make the turn.
So you've been hearing me talk about one of our community's greatest contributors and most philanthropically inclined companies. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Marcone. They're the largest distributor of General Electric appliance parts in North America. Did you know that Marcone is also the largest and most trusted supplier of commercial and residential appliance parts, HVAC, plumbing, commercial kitchens, and pools and spas? All of that's in North America as well. That's right, Marcone does all that. Marcone is committed to supporting our first responders, all the branches of service in our military, our police and firefighters, and many more. From the viewing deck at the Ascension Charity Classic, founded in honor of our military heroes, to their commitment to Reese Across America program, Marcone is here for you and your family as well as your community. That's Marcone, the official sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Hey, St. Louis. Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Do you remember the golden rule? I'm sure you do, but just in case, it goes like this. Treat people the way that you'd like to be treated. At People's National Bank, that one statement is the cornerstone of what this bank is all about. Locally owned, with 23 locations in Southern Illinois and the metropolitan St. Louis area, People's National Bank parlays a robust menu of commercial or personal banking services you could possibly need with a friendly yet hardworking Midwestern attitude. Maybe you just want to do business with a bank whose entire team lives in the same neighborhoods as we do. If you're like me and doing business with someone you trust is important to you, then People's National Bank is the bank for you. Jason Rantham, local president, is here for you to call, and he'll answer any questions you may have. His personal cell is 314-974-2243. You can also find us online at peoplesnationalbank.com. People's National Bank is here for all of your banking needs.
Hi, this is Adam Betts from Family Golf and Learning Center. At FGLC here in Kirkwood, we feature a double-decker driving range, 2 large grass tees with Tahoma Bermuda grass. You want to work on your short game? We have a short game area too, which features a 20,000 square foot green, 3 bunkers, and Zoysia surrounds. Also at Family Golf and Learning Center, don't forget about our 9-hole par 3 course, the indoor TrackMan simulators, and our performance center. If you're looking for the best golf instruction, regardless of skill, we can help. Find out more at FamilyGolfOnline.com. That's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Family Golf and Learning Center. We make St. Louis better at golf.
This is Golf with Jay Delsing. We're halfway home, and it's time to make the turn. Let's get back to Jay and Dan.
Golf with Jay Delsing on this Sunday morning rolls on. Our thanks to the folks at Popticals with Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin, coming to you from the Car Shield Studios, and as always, presented by Darty Business Solutions. Really interesting. During the break, they took us outside.
How about that?
And we put on the various glasses that they have, sunglasses, limited time, obviously, but man, it made a huge difference.
It did make a huge difference. Danny, the one pair that they gave me, I felt like I could see every single blade of grass, and it's, I know they talk about violet and purple, but it doesn't shake out that way at all, does it?
No.
It just gives you this clarity, and you're like, wow.
So we're going to visit with Brad Henderson a little later in the show, sports outreach manager from SSM Health Physical Therapy, and Adam Wainwright is coming up in hour number 2. Okay, the tour making a stop at Tiger's Place, the Genesis going on this weekend. What have you thought so far?
Well, it's still a small sample size, but, just starting from Thursday, he got off to a good start. I think he shot 1 or 2 under his first 9 holes. He doesn't look uberly fantastic, but he looks way better than Danny. Let's just compare what we saw now with Augusta last year.
Oh, it's night and day when he could barely walk.
It's night and day. I mean, do you remember we were sitting somewhere watching him, it's pouring down rain, and he's trying to get up there. Was it either 18 or 9 or what? And he couldn't walk. It looked like there was something sticking out of his ankle. I mean, it just was a nightmare. And you're not seeing this. It's weird to think Tiger's 48 years old.
Yes.
Thank God I'm not aging.
The return of Tiger, though, boy, it moves the needle.
Oh, it's so fun. I mean, what do you think about, let's talk a little bit about the brand. Like, what do you think about the brand? What do you think about the placement of the logo? It's just all, I think they were going after we just want to
get away
shake
from Nike.
This thing up, get away from Nike, and do something completely different.
And if you're Nike, though, you're saying, yeah, he's not repping our brand, but any great major highlight that he's had in his career, what does it have on? It's Nike. I mean, you're still going to get a bump from what he's doing for Nike. It's not the same, don't get me wrong, but, man, every major point that he's had in his career, it's with Nike logos all over him.
Absolutely. And someone asked him in his press conference, I don't know if you heard that or not, someone asked him in his press conference, what do you think about the TW? And he's like, I don't want it back. I don't even care about it anymore. They don't understand, as a golfer, D, you have to train yourself to like, this is in the past. I'd stung like hell, but I'm moving on. There's that mindset because you don't have time to take a timeout and go, what the heck did I just do?
Sure.
I made a triple bogey. I was 5 under par and I made a double bogey. It's just like next and let's move on. And he, man, he just he shook that off like it was nothing.
Now, in his career, Riviera has not been a great place for him.
No.
So why you played it obviously a number of times. What makes that a tough golf course?
First of all, it's grass that you've never seen before. It's called Kikuya, and it's absolutely like steel. It is. You can hit a low 3-iron into this grass, and this grass will stop it dead in its tracks. And if it's a slightly bit damp, it gets very heavy. The other thing that's difficult are the greens. They're not quite as bumpy as Pebble Beach, but most people don't know this. Riviera sits less than a mile as the crow flies from the ocean. So it's really, it's not a links course per se, but it has Seaside Poa annua as its main grass. And Danny, Poa annua just gets bumpy and it gets trafficky if it's been soft. Like, we've had torrential rains out in Southern Cal. The greens will get soft and spiky and bumpy, and it almost looks like you play in the morning and the holes cut and they look really good. You play in the afternoon, it almost looks like they're smaller because the Poa annua's grown a little bit and it kind of rolls over the edges. You will see, just like we saw at Pebble Beach and just like you see at Torrey Pines, you will see short putts missed.
He's also got a new caddy, which is something that at this stage of his career, always interesting to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. But his new caddy's no stranger to the game. He knows what he's doing, and he absolutely. I don't think this is a permanent gig.
Lance Bennett, correct?
Because Lance has been Lance is a great guy, by the way. But Lance has been working for the young man.
Cantlay, I thought.
Yeah, no, he was working. Well, he was working for Cantlay at one time, but. You're thinking Joe LaCava left Tiger, went to Cantlay, but Lance is working for a young man is a European guy.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I mean, what a thrill! What a thrill!
Yeah, getting on Tiger's bag.
If you're a pro jock, you're a pro looper, and you get the caddy for arguably one of the best of all time.
I don't think people understand that relationship is so important, and a caddy is vital and can really help a player down the stretch for certain, but in an entire tournament, just in the preparation, what they do, looking at greens, where to hit shots, all those things come into play.
No question. Danny, the other thing is you get under the gun, man. There's pressure. And if you're caddying for Tiger, there's a good chance you're going to be up that leaderboard. You bet. You show one sign of this situation being too big for you, and you're gone. I mean, I've had caddies before that I could tell coming down the stretch, and we might be in, 4th, 5th place finish, and they can't speak, and I'm like, I can't do this.
You could find a way. I know you.
I'll do it, but I mean, I can't do this with you anymore. We got to get somebody else.
Up next, he'll be in studio. Brad Henderson, sports outreach manager from SSM Health Physical Therapy, and we're going to talk about how to improve your bodies during the winter months and get ready for a golf season. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
That was Making the Turn. Coming up, we head to the back nine. You're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Powers Insurance and Risk Management is a family-owned local business that's been helping our community for over 200 years. In the always confusing world of insurance, Powers Insurance provides clarity, exceptional service, and the latest and cutting-edge products to deliver the highest quality in property and casualty coverage, as well as strategic planning consultation services. Powers Insurance and Risk Management will partner with you. That's right, they'll partner with you to customize the right coverage for you and your family. Tim Davis, Chief Operating Officer, will personally sit down and talk you through the ins and the outs of your policies. They are experts at helping you control your workplace expenses, helping to guarantee the safety that you and your employees need. You can visit them at powersinsurance.com. That's powersinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
For the best in Italian cuisine in St. Louis, look no further than Paul Manno's, located in Chesterfield. It's traditional Italian cooking, and their best ingredient, It's their tradition. It's cooking like Paul's grandmother used to make and like his mother still prepares today. There are no corners cut at Paul Mano's. From greeting you at the door to the pasta you'll share with your family, Paul Mano's is committed to bringing you their very best anytime you share a meal at their place. It's Paul Mano's, located in Chesterfield.
Hey, Jay Delsing here, and I know I speak for all of week golfers. We're always looking to improve our games. And for me, that means I go to one place. And that place is Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. Tom DeGrant opened his family business in 1975 with the goal of providing St. Louis with the finest in golf equipment, instruction, and technology. Whether you need a new rangefinder, your first set of clubs, or anything else you can think of, Pro-Am Golf has just what you're looking for. If you're a scratch handicapper or carry a 20 handicap, come visit Pro-Am Golf and inquire about a lesson from Tom DeGrant. He's been fixing golf swings and making St. Louisans better at golf for over 40 years. Get your gear, your lessons, anything else golf related where I go. That's Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. You can also visit them at proamusa.com. That's Pro-Am Golf.
This is Chris Nagel. And you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hey, this is Jay Delsing for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Our golf program has the same screening techniques and technology as the pros on the PGA Tour use. SSM Health Physical Therapy has the Titleist Performance Institute trained physical therapists that can perform the TPI screening on you, as well as use the K-Vest 3D motion capture system. Proper posture, alignment, etc. can help you keep your game right down the middle. We have 80 locations in the St. Louis area. Call 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Your therapy, our passion.
Back on Golf with Jay Delsing, presented by Darty Business Solutions, coming to you from the Car Shield Studios. And that's Jay Delsing. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Joining us in studio, Sports Outreach Manager Brad Henderson from SSM Health Physical Therapy. And we like to say Shortcat, but Shortcat, great to be with you.
Yeah, thanks, Danny and Jay. It's great to be here. And the Shortcat name comes from Red Schoendienst with my days with the Cardinals. So when a Hall of Famer puts a tag on you, I mean, that kind of sticks.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Well, you know, first of all, thanks to you, Jason, the entire group for the support of the show. We really appreciate it. But I got to tell you, I had personal experience with my knee. Kirsten, who's retired now, and some of your other physical therapists, you guys, we have over 80 locations around town, and really, really good qualified people to help you with anything.
Yeah, Jay, you're absolutely right. And as I call these, you know, kind of kids or young therapists, because the doctor of physical therapies we have working for us are my kids' ages, so I kind of call them the kids. But I tell you what, we've got some really bright young folks that work for us, and just thrilled to go out and try to get them to treat the populations that they enjoy treating and have the knowledge to know how to get them back on the field or court as quick as possible.
Well, you've been doing this a long time. Before we jump into some of the details, give us your background, your resume a little bit. And Major League Baseball is a big part of that, I know.
We could start telling stories here,
I'm
Danny,
sure.
and never get to the K-Vest and the TPI.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's always fun, you know, sitting around with you guys and, you know, kind of, you know, reminiscing the past a little bit. But I went to Mizzou, very fortunate to get a job with the baseball Cardinals. I was in the minor leagues for 3 years. Gene Giesman, you know, gave me the call 1988 in May. Came to the big leagues and very fortunate to get to work with the Cardinals for 15 years as the assistant. You know, a lot of friends and kind of where I grew up in baseball. Got to work with Whitey and Torrey and then, of course, Tony before I got the head athletic trainer's position with the Pirates. So I was over there for 9 years and got to run the show like I thought it needed to be done. So I saw a lot of good baseball in St. Louis and not so much in Pittsburgh along those last few years.
So tell us what you're doing these days. So when we say what you're doing in terms of the title of sports outreach manager, and that's at SSM Health Physical Therapy, what does that mean? What are you doing?
So when I got done working with the Pirates, or when I was told I was done working with the Pirates,
I got informed.
Yeah, right. I worked for Dr. Paletta for 7 years and learned a ton from him, and I really appreciate the opportunity he gave me. Now I'm with SSM Health Physical Therapy as a sports outreach manager. And as I mentioned about our therapists and those kind of things, having an opportunity to have our therapists treat the populations that they enjoy treating. A lot of these therapists played college sports, are very competitive athletes, and know the demands of each individual sports to return these people back to the field or court as quick as possible. So when we look at our sports programs, we have a running program, contact sports, flexible sports, that Tracy Friedel, the other athletic trainer that's in the same position as I am. And then along with those sports, we have our overhead team and our golf team, and I kind of run those things. So, having dealt with rotational athletes for my entire career as an athletic trainer, I feel that I can share some of these things, with our therapists in the overhead and golf groups.
Yeah, it's interesting, Brad, is that Gosh, it doesn't seem right to call him Brad, does it, Danny?
Short Cat.
Anyway, Short Cat. So it's interesting because the way that when I first got on tour and the college days, and it's 100 years ago, I know, but it's not the way we do it anymore, man. And the training has changed. There wasn't anything called a TPI back then or a K-vest or things like that. But the bottom line is, right here in our community, there's a lot of really good state-of-the-art things that folks that love the game can do to get better.
Oh, 100%. And you talk about back when you played and back when I started, athletic trainers were very reactionary. We were always there, and when something happened, we, kind of Humpty Dumpty these cats, put them back together again, and got them back on the field. So, through my career in the 80s and 90s, and when the MRI came in, the arthroscope came in, our diagnostic techniques got much better, our surgery techniques got better, our rehab things got better. So those were the final kind of 2 of the 3 pieces that we worked on. And now we're spending a lot of time on the preventative piece, on the front side of things. So we're looking at how these guys move, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and these athletes are so highly skilled that they may not pass one of our tests, but they're still able to go out there and compete at a very high level.
And we need to be clear here, though, because you don't have to be a D1 college athlete. You don't have to be a scratch golfer. We are also talking about John Q. Public that loves playing the game, that's dying for this weather to get better. And, we're getting a couple of glimpses now. And you guys do a hell of a job of getting anybody back on the court or the field or whatever it is.
Yeah, 100%. And 48 of the top 50 people on the PGA Tour use somebody that is TPI or Titleist Performance Institute certified. So when we talk about our golf program, we really need to talk about an individual program for each player. And whether this be a pitcher, whether this be a hitter, whether it be a golfer, whatever, there are various screens that we do that will identify weaknesses, tightnesses, those kind of things that this TPI screen that will identify.
What do you primarily see in golfers? Like right now, it's cold outside. As Jay said, you might get a round in here or there. So this is your down season. What do you see with golfers?
Well, when you look at really any athlete, from the weekend warrior up to a very high level, golfer or baseball player, everybody needs to have core strength, and everybody needs to have balance, and everybody needs to have strength, and everybody needs to have endurance. So when we look at the let's say the weekend golfer all the way up to a low handicap type golfer, there's 16 different motions that we look at. We look at the pelvis on how that moves. We're going to look at the trunk and how that moves. We're going to look at the separation between your pelvis and your trunk so you can get loaded. We're going to look at your balance, and we're going to look at your hip flexibility. So once we get these tests done, then an individual workout program is given to the individual so that they can address any mobility or stability issues that they may have.
And the flexibility piece, I think, Brad, for the guys that are not super high level, okay, don't you feel like the flexibility piece? I mean, I feel like it's really tough to have someone that's never lifted weights to go and start a lifting program in their late 30s or early 40s. But I feel like if someone could just get on the ground, figure out a towel and stretch some of the hamstrings, I mean, it can really pay off.
Well, 100%. And Jay, and you know through your career back when you were in college, the way you moved then compared to the way you move now, I mean, it's just a little bit different.
We're laughing.
So the thing about this is that as we age and as I'm getting a little longer in the tooth as well, we can't afford to lose any more flexibility. So we want to maintain what we have if we can't open the window or gain a little bit more. Also, we want to work on our strength. And again, we want to work on the strength in our weakest links, not on things that we're already good at. And the TPI screen will identify, the segments that you need to work on. Everybody, as I mentioned, gets an individual workout program. There's a video with it. There are words with it. So, you have somebody right there with you as you watch these videos and having you do these movements.
So when people hear TPI or K-Vest, what is that?
Well, TPI is the Titleist Performance Institute,
which you mentioned, okay?
Yes, which is Greg Rose out in San Diego. And then when we talk about K-Vest, it is it's a 4-sensor 3D motion capture device. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at your posture, your alignment, the sequencing of your swing, and any major swing characteristic faults that you may have. Now, we are a physical therapy company. I'm not going to tell you how to hold the club. I'm not going to give you drills for these things. But what I'm going to have you do is we're going to have you swing. We're going to identify some things. We're going to go through some positions of the golf swing that are most efficient. So when we talk about, kind of feel the feel kind of thing, so you get an audio and a visual tone when you do the K-Vest, and then we take some pictures so that when you're at home, you can, practice some of these body type drills so that you can get back in the right spots.
Shortcut, people have asked me the question that when Danny and I are together we hear more than any is how do we hit it further? And obviously, if you can increase speed, that's going to be a no-brainer. But most people can't. But you can perfect or get to better hitting positions, get your body to move better, be slightly more flexible. You can still accomplish hitting that ball more solidly and hitting it further.
Oh, 100%. And on our national golf call with Select Medical, who was our parent company, we had Kent Biggerstaff, the old athletic trainer with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He's a good man. He's out of the PGA Tour now, I think.
Yes, he is on the senior PGA Tour, and he's from Auburn, Illinois. Yeah, one of my favorites, no doubt. But I had him on our national golf show, and people wanted to know, well, what did the seniors work on? Think it's some magic going on in the trailers and that kind of things. He said we work on balance, we work on flexibility, and we work on strength. And it doesn't change no matter what level you're at, because if you don't have good balance and you can't get to your trail side, or you don't have good balance and you can't, get over to the lead side, it's tough to create speed in the golf swing.
It really is. And sorry, Dan, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
No, it really is. And again, this is not a complicated formula that we're talking about. You're not going to give them exercises that we just created 2 weeks ago. This stuff has been around. It's just you got to put the time in, and it's not a ton of time. We had Dr. Rick Lehman on a couple weeks ago, I think. And he was wonderful, but he said, and Shortcat, you could probably verify this. What did he say? Less than 30% of the people follow the programs you give them to get better.
It was under that. He gave him a program and people just didn't follow through.
18% or something like that.
Oh, and that's very true. And a lot of these guys are professional athletes, because we give them a lot of programs and they don't follow through with what we tell them to do as well. But the thing about it is, when you talk about individuals and those kind of things, most people have watched a lot of golf on TV and talk about John Rahm and John Daly. So when you think about John Rahm, and this is all public knowledge that he's got a club foot and doesn't have very good rotation in his hips and those kind of things. And when you screen him, and he's a big TPI guy, he works with Dave Phillips as his swing coach. So Dave knows how his body moves, and he knows that he can't rotate like John Daly. So if we tried to make John Daly, we'd break him. I mean, he would have a back problem, he'd have a hip problem, he would, have a shoulder issue, whatever it would turn out to be. So when you know how when the golfer moves, then you can tailor the swing to that. So with this K-Best report that's 10 pages, it's going to give you a ton of information. We try to, stick with the low-hanging fruit best we can, and to really get these people to feel the feel, to be in the right body positions. And a lot of times, when you take this very objective report to your swing coaches or to any swing instructor, they're going to know how your body's going to move. And you show them the TPI screen saying, hey, I'm not good on balance or whatever. So, again, these are the things that you need to work on so that you can make your swing more efficient and repeatable.
Our guest is Brad Henderson, Sports Outreach Manager at SSM Health Physical Therapy. How about older golfers just trying to get back out there and some of the things that you have to work on with the older golfer?
Well, again, at this time of year, we like to have people, kind of go through a little progression, then all of a sudden dust off their golf bag and go out and, grip and rip it like, we're all very guilty of, But, just some, anybody really getting ready for this kind of season, kind of working through the bag, starting with your short clubs and progressing through your longer irons and then, getting up to the woods. And again, as I mentioned before about, strength and endurance, I got fitted for some new clubs a couple years ago, and the guy told me that my clubs are way too heavy and asked me if I got tired around the 14th hole. I said, Christ, I'm tired at 9.
Right. I can't make it the 14th.
Yeah, so the thing about it is that we may have a good swing, for the first 6 or 7 holes, and then we get a little tired, and by the time we get around to that 15 through 18, I mean, we're hanging on for dear life trying to repeat a swing.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, the last one thing I just want to reiterate that people don't expect this to be a one size fits all sort of thing. I mean, I'm 6'5", Danny's 6 foot. You're a little shorter than that. We all have different body types. Yeah, hey, we're being kind here today. Anyways, but it's everybody. You may have a bad back. We all may have a bad back, but we're going to approach how we do it with maybe some similar exercises, maybe different, but it's going to be more custom for everybody.
Oh, it'll be 100% custom. And again, there are some basic things that we all need to work on, but to what degree? We can all do planks, but, are some of us on our knees, or some of us, our arms extended, or whatever it turns out to be. So we're going to be working the same muscles, but, in much different levels of difficulty.
What's the best way to get a hold of you, sign up, find out all the information?
Yeah, so our 1-800 number is 844-257-7797. Again, 844-257-7797. Or you can find us on the internet at ssmphysicaltherapy.com.
ssmphysicaltherapy.com. And how many places do you guys now have around town?
Well, we have over 80 outpatient locations. Wow. We also have some day institutes, so that pushes us up toward the 90 number. So we're not quite as big as Walgreens, but we're chasing them down.
Shortcat, great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That's Brad Henderson, the Sports Outreach Manager at SSM Health Physical Therapy. This is Golf with Jay Delson.
Redbird Heating and Cooling sponsors the Veterans Vocational Apprentice Program. Jed Dickinson, a retired Navy man, will teach, mentor, and sign off on educational and mechanical work hours to help you get fully licensed while you work and get paid by the company. What a great way to launch your career as a fully licensed HVAC specialist. Call Redbird Heating and Cooling today at 314-320-9507. That's Redbird Heating and Cooling.
You're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing. To connect with Jay, log on to jdelsinggolf.com. You'll see the latest in equipment, find the latest innovations in golf, and get tips from a PGA professional. That's jdelsinggolf.com.
Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing you thousands of dollars. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year, which is 4 times the rate of inflation. If an unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready for that? Well, now you can be with a plan through CarShield. Even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. Your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. Traveling by car is a way of life. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are a daily essential. When you enroll in a car protection plan through CarShield, you can look forward to the following. The price will never go up no matter how many claims you file, or no matter how high the mileage on your car increases. CarShield offers protection plans that start as low as $100 per month. That's $100 per month. They have repair coverage for up to 5,000 different parts of your vehicle. Plus, when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road, you get 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance. You also get complimentary towing and rental car options. CarShield has my back when my car breaks down, and they can have yours too. Call CarShield today at 800-465-6550 or visit carshield.com. It's CarShield, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Get ready to watch the legends of golf up close when they compete at historic Norwood Hills Country Club right here in St. Louis. The Ascension Charity Classic will be back again with some of golf's greatest names: Steve Stricker, Padraig Harrington, John Daly, David Duval, Bernard Longer, Justin Leonard, David Toms, and more will compete, returning September 3rd through the 8th. Visit AscensionCharityClassic.com for information.
Darty Business Solutions has been enhancing the business of our customers for the last 37 years. How do we do it? Through our expertise in technology, better use of data and analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. We roll up our sleeves and collaborate. We build applications and effectively communicate with our partner clients to bring their goals and objectives to the finish line. Our award-winning Access Point program is a community game changer. With nearly 100 students in the program, mostly young African-American females are making between $55,000 and $60,000 per year right out of high school. That's right, $55,000 to $60,000 a year right after high school graduation. That's when they begin their training. CEO Ron Darty believes the talent is equally distributed, but access to that opportunity is not. So here's Access Point, providing more and more opportunity for those in and around our community. It's Darty Business Solutions.
Welcome back. It's Golf with Jay Delsing on 101 ESPN, coming to you from the CarShield studios, presented by Darty Business Solutions. Brad Henderson, a buddy of ours for many years. That was fun to visit with him.
Always fun to be with Short Cat. And, Danny, this SSM system that we have locally, and folks, I know you're hearing this show all over the country, but pay attention to this stuff. This rehabilitation, when you get older and stuff starts, giving out, or there are people there to help get you back out on the golf course, get you back into life, just help you with your overall quality of everything. These guys, it's amazing. Just sitting around having lunch with Brad, it's amazing what he knows.
Have you ever been hooked up to TPI, the K-Vest?
Oh, yeah.
What's that like, that
it's
experience?
Awesome. It's awesome. You got to try it. It's the K-Vest is an apparatus that actually goes on you, and they've got electrodes and wires and all this stuff, and you swing, and it gives you data. It's awesome. It measures your body, how much it's moving, what's not moving, what's moving correctly, incorrectly. There's a standard, then there's a tour player level, and it's really super cool. And by the way you swing, it will give the therapist, like Brad was saying, we're not golf instructors, but we are athletic pros. They understand what needs to be done and how the body needs to move. And chances are, D, for example, if you have one of those swings, when you stand up and as you come into the ball, your body starts caving in towards the ball, like your belt and pelvis area get closer to the ball, your core's not strong enough. And it takes strength to keep that thing bent over and try to turn fast. But, man, when you do, you're going to crush it.
Is that as players get older and as you have progressed in the game, is that the hardest thing to work on? And the most important thing to work on, your core?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would say flexibility is right up there, 2D. If you can stay flexible, you're going to stay in the game, so to speak. But, man, your core, I mean, for your abs need to be tight, your hamstrings need to be loose, and your butt needs to be strong, and you need to be able to turn fast. Yeah. And you watch these kids that play, and that's what they do.
Okay, you had a chance. We're going to play the interview. You had a chance to catch up with old Uncle Charlie, number 50.
Charlie, yeah, what a fun interview.
And so did you get into much golf, or was it more about lifestyle, family, that kind of thing?
We talked a lot about golf. We gave some crossovers mentally. You know, I had, I don't know, D, if we were together or not, but Chris Carpenter was on the show. And we started talking. I asked Adam, who was really instrumental? And he goes, Carp. It was Carp, and he goes, I secretly stalked him, and then it wasn't so secret, and then I told him, man, I just want to be like you. I want to do what you do. And I said at one point, the mental side of golf and pitching are really similar. You got your whole, you're 5 under par, D, and you're walking to the 18th tee, and you duck hook one and can't find your ball. All of a sudden, same thing, and, you're winning 2-1, and you walk a guy, and then you hang one, and out it goes. You lose 3-2. It's like I just gave 2.5, 3 hours worth of work, made one mistake, and it's over.
So he's a busy guy too.
Yeah.
He's got his music that he's doing. Yeah. He's going to do more work on MLB Network.
Right.
Playing days are over, but still broadcasting is, and baseball, it's in his blood. I think he'll be fantastic as an analyst.
I do too. He's got that gig with Fox. He said he's going to be very sporadic in the studio with MLB Network. So he's going to start, I think, when opening day goes towards the end of March. And he's got 5 kids. He's a very involved dad. It's there's always something going on over at the Wainwright household. It seems like a lot of fun. And then he's got Big League Impact.
I was just going to ask you about that.
It's really super cool. I mean, over $9 million they've raised, and that's an amazing feat. You have your charity that's raised over $5 million, and you know how hard you've worked to do that. I've watched you and participated from a very minor position, but it's just not easy raising that kind of money, man. And it's to watch the video that you put together for the special needs kids. And
Adam is so hands-on. I mean, that's the one thing that he does. He's hands-on with this, which is great.
Yeah, and you are too. You're involved with your tournament too, and you sit there and he did a water mission and just on and on and on. And if you look at the players that have helped him out over the past, I mean, it's all-stars after all-stars after all-stars. It's they're great. I'm super partial to Matt Holliday. I've only met him a couple times, but I just love the guy.
Yeah,
and he's on there along with some really other familiar names.
Awesome. Looking forward to the interview that's coming up next. Adam Wainwright will sit down with Jay Delsing. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, any make or model, then you need to visit the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. They are the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. My daughter and I both drive vehicles supplied by Colin and the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, and it's because we know we can trust them. They made the car buying experience painless and easy, and their customer service is second to none. Every single step of the car buying experience was taken care of for us. You can reach Colin at 314-966-0303, and he will answer all of your questions and put your mind at ease. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood has new or pre-owned vehicles to be purchased or leased, whichever you prefer. Once you visit the Dean Team Volkswagen on Manchester in Kirkwood, you'll be a customer for life because they will treat you like family. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Powers Insurance and Risk Management is a family-owned local business that's been helping our community for over 200 years. In the always confusing world of insurance, Powers Insurance provides clarity, exceptional service, and the latest in cutting-edge products to deliver the highest quality in property and casualty coverage, as well as strategic planning consultation services. Powers Insurance and Risk Management will partner with you. That's right, they'll partner with you to customize the right coverage for you and your family. Tim Davis, Chief Operating Officer, will personally sit down and talk you through the ins and the outs of your policies. They are experts at helping you control your workplace expenses, helping to guarantee the safety that you and your employees need. You can visit them at powersinsurance.com. That's powersinsurance.com for all your insurance needs. Sitting down this morning with Adam Wainwright. Adam, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Jay.
All right, so Adam, sit back a minute because I'm going to go over some of your high-level achievements. This is going to take a minute. 3-time All-Star, 2-time Golden Glove Award winner, 1 Silver Slugger Award. You finished second twice in the Cy Young Award race.
Thanks for reminding me.
Third or second time. You're the only person to ever get more first place votes and not. Yeah, that's unbelievable. 2015 Hutch Award, 2020 Roberto Clemente Award, 18 years in the big leagues. First of all, man, congratulations on a great career.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. It was a blessing for sure. It was a wonderful time. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do in life since I've been 3 years old was be a big league baseball player. So to be able to live that out, what a tremendous blessing it was. And I'm glad I got to do it all. And as a St. Louis Cardinal and one of the great sports towns in the history of the world. So sometimes I look back, I just can't believe that I got to do that. So glad to do it. Thanks for pointing that out.
Absolutely. So, but here's something that none of us will get to experience. You get drafted right out of high school. I want you to talk a little bit about that, please, because I can just tell you that I played golf here in St. Louis, which was no big deal at all. And then I go out to Southern Cal, and it was a big deal. And I was like, whoa, I got a lot of catching up to do. I can't imagine turning pro out of high school.
I think it's different for each person, right? Like coming out of high school for me was great because I was a guy who really kind of needed to be, when you're in pro ball, let me put it this way. When you get into pro ball and especially if you're sort of a top pick, they really pour into you. It is about winning a little bit, but it's really about development, and I needed some development. I did. I think sometimes you get that at the college level. Sometimes kids need to grow more, need to learn how to throw harder. I was 6'7", and I was throwing in the low to mid 90s coming out of high school. I didn't need to really learn. I mean, I would have loved to have been able to throw harder, but I didn't really need to learn that as much as I needed sculpting, if that makes sense. So it was a great opportunity for me to get some great coaching and great, I started with the Braves and they had a great pitching philosophy over there that I feel like really poured into me and helped me, and some great coaches that really taught me a lot. But I needed to grow up mentally also. And I think I got thrown into a professional fire that really helped my mental process eventually, not at first, but eventually.
Well, it's so interesting because you say that, because you're a Georgia kid, and I know how much you had to love the Braves, and you get drafted in the first round by your hometown team, and then right when you're about to propose to Jenny, you get traded. That had to be like, what was that like?
Well, it's crazy because when I first found out that I was being traded, I was actually in the living room with my future father-in-law asking for his permission to marry his daughter. And so on one hand, it was a big life change for me because I grew up the biggest Braves fan in the history of the world. I'm from South Georgia. I still live in Georgia. And, everywhere you go, people got Braves tags on the car. And I had a Braves decal in my truck growing up since I was 16 years old driving. And we patterned our days around what time was the TBS, 7:35, or was this a 7:15, or was it whatever, and we patterned our dinners around that. We patterned where we were going to be going just to make sure that we could take time to watch those games, those Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz, and Chipper, and those. I mean, those were the heyday of the Braves too, man. That was some good times. But on the other hand, I knew that I'd begin to be passed up on the prospect list by some of the other guys. And, I kind of burned a few bridges over there. As I said, I needed to grow up. I was the late guy. I wasn't really known for working hard. And I needed a fresh start. So I kind of knew that was going to be a good thing for me. But I didn't know a whole lot about Cardinal Nation. And so I remember when Dayton Moore, ended up being the GM for the Royals for many years, and now he's with the Rangers. But he was the guy that called me. He was with the Braves at the time. He was the one that called me and told me I was being traded. And my mom was on the phone, and she was all crying and upset. And I said, okay. I said, well, who did I get traded to? And she said, the Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals. And I said, well, listen, I'm in the middle of something a little bit bigger right now. And she knew what I was going up there for. And she was like, oh, no, are you doing that right now? I'm like, I'm in the living room right now. I got to go. So, everything was kind of put into perspective all at once. I knew that I probably needed a fresh start. That was probably going to be good for me, but I also needed to get something else done. My wife, Jenny, now we've been married almost 20 years now. It was important for me to get that locked in. And so, I had to make a good impression in front of the father-in-law too.
Yes. So far, so good, right? So Adam, it's interesting because today, I don't know what's happening with parenting and children and stuff, but you're kind of describing what I described in my golf career was like getting punched in the nose and how good it was for me, because I had to understand there was a lot of failure and I learned so much more from those downtimes.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, there was a lot of and it's a much longer story, Jay. It'll be in a book one day, I think. But it was ultimately my failures that led me to the realization that I had to make some major changes if I wanted to be a successful athlete. If I was just all hunky dory in the minor leagues, I wouldn't have made the adjustments needed to be a long-time big leaguer. And so, it's hard in the time, but I'm so thankful that I went through those struggles and those bad times to be able to have success later on when it really counted.
It's kind of like you read about when I'm down in those valleys, this is what's going to forge me into the man that I'm going to become. And now when I'm in that valley, I'm like, yeah, I'm not digging this that much. It's not that much fun down there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I think that's where my faith comes in hand. As I follow the Lord closely, and I try to follow, and I want to hear what He says, and I want to do I want to hear what he's got to say, and I want to do those things, and He says that the winds of struggle will sculpt me and shape me, and they'll make me strong. And there's a story that goes along with that. There was a guy who built this big indoor, and I'm a farmer gardener too, so this kind of really hits home with me. But there was a guy who was building this indoor facility, and he was wanting to plant these trees in particular inside this structure inside, where he could change the climate around inside, so he could grow these warm weather trees inside this building when in this really cold environment outside. And so he was growing these trees, and it was the perfect temperature, and it was the perfect soil and everything, but the trees kept fading away and they were dying. And it just what ended up happening was there wasn't any wind in this facility, and the trees, anytime that they were fruiting, they would topple over. And so what happened was the root structure, the root balls of these trees were not being strengthened. They weren't ever being tested in the stronger winds. They were never forced through any tough elements, and so they just lived this little smooth, perfect, comfortable environment. But anytime that they faced some adversity, they fell over, and it was the winds that trees, when they're outside, you look out sometimes of these storms and you're going, man, I can't believe these trees are able to stay in this wind.
How's that guy hanging on?
Yeah, and it's because they've been battle tested. They've been pushed with that wind before to be able to be strong, and they spread out and they take hold, and that's the same thing that happens with us when we persevere through tough times. We're able to spread our root balls out a little bit, and we're able to spread out and really dig in and be stronger. And then next time you face adversity, you get through it a little easier.
Adam, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm delighted to welcome the Amateur Players Tour to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. The APT team has worked so hard to establish a national golf tour for amateurs. Folks, don't miss out on this opportunity. If you love golf and ever wondered what all the fuss about tournament golf is, then this tour is for you. We just released the 2024 schedule, and it is a beast. There's 21 events currently in the metropolitan St. Louis area, with many more to come. But check out these golf courses: Paynes Valley, Ozark National, Stonewolf, Ambrier, Persimmon Woods, Gateway National, and a 36-hole event on Norwood's West Course, and many more. Okay, so the courses are certainly cool and nice, but what's really neat is the way the events are run and how they are run. The APT team does a fantastic job of closely monitoring handicaps and ensuring a good and fair competition. There are 5 divisions, a year-long points competition, major championships, elevated events, and much, much more. Right now, there are over 6,000 members in 41 different local chapters across the country, and all that's happened in just over 5 years. Join now and don't miss out on the best tournament golf in the country, run for amateurs by amateurs themselves. Go to amateurplayerstour.com. That's amateurplayerstour.com.
Family Golf and Learning Center. No matter your age or skill level, Family Golf and Learning Center, located in Kirkwood, has something for you. They've got it all: PGA and LPGA instruction, double-decker driving range, par 3 golf course, TrackMan simulators, a large short game green design to help you with all your shots around the green, bunkers, rough, and Zoysia fairway pitching. And now open, the Tahoma Bermuda Grass Tees, the best turf to hit from in St. Louis. It's all at Family Golf and Learning Center. To schedule a lesson or to find out more, visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. That's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Family Golf and Learning Center. We make St. Louis better at golf.
Welcome back to Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm sitting down with Adam Wainwright, and it's really interesting. Was there a specific player or person once you got to St. Louis that was instrumental in helping you, model your career after or just learn from?
Yeah, when I first got to St. Louis, I knew that I needed a guy to follow. I knew I needed to start over. I knew I needed to make a better name for myself over there than I had with the Braves. And there was a guy named Chris Carpenter, who anybody who's listening to this who was a Cardinals fan would know him. But Chris was just tenacious. This guy was just a ferocious competitor, and not just on the mound. He was a ferocious competitor, when he was doing his PFP drills and when he was going through, even bunting stuff. But when he took the mound on his practice sessions or in the weight room, the guy had a better focus than anybody I'd ever seen. The guy had he was more business than I'd ever seen. And it probably I was surrounded by people like that before the Brave system too. I didn't have eyes to watch it, to really learn it yet. And I finally started studying this guy, and I shadowed him without him knowing it for a little while. I was anywhere he went, I went, and everywhere he, worked. When he worked out, I worked out. When he played catch, I played catch. And when he went golfing, I always asked if I could go. And I just kind of just was like a puppy dog tail, I was just followed him everywhere, and I just wanted to watch. He just, he was that year ended up, he won in 2005. He won the Cy Young. And it was not by accident. If you want to be great, you got to put in the work to be great. You got to put the prep work in to be that. And that's what he was doing. And so just being able to talk to him, being able to kind of pick his brain a little bit, but really just watching, it really helped me a lot, figure out how to be a professional, what I needed to do to be great. Because, if you want to be great and you're not great, you need to find somebody who is and pay attention.
It's so true, Adam. And I had Carp on the show, and he talked about eliminating the junk mentally. And I want to talk to you a little bit about your focus, because the game of golf and pitching can be so similar, because one mental lapse in a golf swing and you can wing one over there, and make a double, triple bogey. You could be in a tight game and hang one or even something out of your control, an error by one of the guys behind you. There's a lot of mental strength involved in this.
There is. It's so much mental strength. At a certain level, everyone has physical tools. Everyone has a gift to, in my sport, throw a ball hard, run fast, hit a ball far, do something like that, right? Like this in your sport nowadays, especially, guys are hitting the ball 350. They're chipping and putting better than anyone ever has. I mean, they're just the games. But you know what? You've played with people like this, and I've played people like this. It's more than just hitting the ball far and having great technique. It's about getting the ball in the hole in your sport, and it's about getting people out in my sport. It's about getting hits, and I've played with tons of people who were more talented than me that could not figure it out for whatever reason. When they got out there between the lines, there was something missing. And I know what that's like, because I was that person. I was the guy that was great one month, and the next month very, very average, or even below average. And the next month, great. And the next month, below average. And it was like, God, man, why can I not figure out a way to get more consistent in this? But it's because my mental process was not consistent. My physical process was great. My mental process stunk. And to be great at the highest level, you almost have to be, I won't say almost, you have to be better mentally than you are physically. The guys who are winning all the awards, who are winning tournaments, Tiger Woods in his prime, you know this as good as anyone, Jay. Tiger Woods in his prime wasn't just better physically, he was better mentally. And because he was better mentally, it made him better physically. And I think, there's a lot of guys, and I was this way, maybe not the most talented, not saying not talented, but not the most talented. But between the ears, there's a belief there that makes you go from a little person to a giant. Makes you go from all right, maybe I can, I know I can throw this ball hard past him, maybe, to I don't care how hard this is, I'm getting it by him. You know what I mean? There's a belief there.
As I got older, Adam, I didn't even go to the range as much as I'd go to a quiet place and try to figure out, I've got 4 daughters. Between the two of us, we could fill a whole diamond with kids and daughters. But you come from that environment, and then you go out on to the tour and try to play, and it was like, man, your hair's on fire. You've been cutting meat and changing diapers and all this stuff, and now you're going to go out and try to So for me, quieting that mind and trying to figure out here's where I need to be, it was eye-opening. But man, it took me 15 years playing out there before I even realized that.
Yeah. And there's so many distractions the higher you go. And in the minor leagues for me, the distractions were all internally driven. It was, I hope I'm good enough. Am I good enough? Is that guy better? But at the big league level, you got marketing stuff, you got fancy restaurants, you got, players who are making big contracts and going all these fancy golf courses, and then you got these big crowds, and you got the media, which is a big distraction. And nowadays you got social media, which is tough, man. That's a tough thing for a competitor to get involved with social media if you dive too far into it, because the truth of the matter is, you're not as good as your last outing. You're not as good as one time on the mound or one time on the driving range. There's a whole process that goes into it. But the media sometimes, or the fan base sometimes, they can make you feel that way if you listen to their angry thoughts, because there's so many fans that are just totally invested. And we love that. But, they're angry when you pitch great, and you're great when you pitch. When you pitch great, you're awesome, and when you pitch bad, you're the worst. And if an athlete lives by that code, their self-worth can be found in that sometimes, and it's really, really tough to accept. And if you just can't, you've got to be more even keel. You can't live high and low like the roller coaster that is social media. So it's a long answer, but there's so many distractions at the highest levels, and you have to be, as a competitor, you have to be able to limit those distractions into, all right, what am I trying to achieve today? What is it? I'm prepared, right? You've already prepared. What is it I'm trying to achieve? And then leave the rest of it out of it.
Wow, that's great stuff, Adam. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, any make or model, then you need to visit the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood. They are the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show. My daughter and I both drive vehicles supplied by Colin and the Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, and it's because we know we can trust them. They made the car buying experience painless and easy, and their customer service is second to none. Every single step of the car buying experience was taken care of for us. You can reach Colin at 314-966-0303, and he will answer all of your questions and put your mind at ease. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood has new or pre-owned vehicles to be purchased or leased, whichever you prefer. Once you visit the Dean Team Volkswagen on Manchester in Kirkwood, you'll be a customer for life because they will treat you like family. The Dean Team Volkswagen of Kirkwood, the official vehicle provider of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
This is Paul Lazinger, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Redbird Heating and Cooling sponsors the Veterans Vocational Apprentice Program. Jed Dickinson, a retired Navy man, will teach, mentor, and sign off on educational and mechanical work hours to help you get fully licensed while you work and get paid by the company. What a great way to launch your career as a fully licensed HVAC specialist. Call Redbird Heating and Cooling today at 314-320-9507. That's Redbird Heating and Cooling. I'm back with Adam Wainwright. And Adam, we were talking about those distractions, and at the big league level, it's almost the better you get, the more distractions there were. And the whole social media thing, man, everybody having a voice that can hide behind a handle and throw anything at you, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, it's good and bad, right? So, like, as a player, we have to accept and to realize that the social media allows us to reach more fans. It allows us to get inside, like people have an inside look at our real lives. And so there's good and bad to that. There's ways to connect to people. And at the end of the day, athletes and famous people who have big, social media followings, they are just people at the end of the day. They are just people, and they want to have these relationships with fans. But sometimes it's just really tough. Sometimes it's just really tough when you let them in, I think sometimes people think that they're maybe closer than they actually are to you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like their response to you in an angry moment. And I've had a lot of talks with people who have sent an evil tweet to me or something. I'll be like, and I'll send them a direct message and be like, hey man, what was going through your mind there? Did you think I meant to make that pitch or whatever? And I don't do that obviously to everyone, but if it's like a really, really, like somebody came after me, and then almost always people are like, dude, I'm sorry, man, I shouldn't have sent that.
golly, it's just like so frustrating. Like I've been waiting for 6 months for the season to start, and that was the pitch you made. I'm like, dude, trust me. I've been waiting my whole life to be in that moment. I can't believe I made that pitch either. So like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but like maybe like the profanity or like, going after my family, maybe that was a little harsh, do you think? And he's like, yeah, you're right. Whatever. And so like those are the ones that kind of are tough. And I've had to try to limit the amount of times that I look deeper into, if I send a message out, I try not to look at the responses as much as I used to, because there's sometimes you just can't make everyone happy, and at the end of the day, as a competitor, you have to kind of limit that exposure a little bit, but also stay, but I love connecting with fans. So there's this like happy balance there that you have to find.
Yeah, and let's talk about something really positive that you created, big league impact. Man, I look at this. It started in 2013. I know you're a huge football, and you're a great football player. You could have played college football. In 2013, you guys made $110,000 and you donated to Operation Food Search. But Adam, since this thing started, you guys have raised over $9 million with some great, the water mission, crisis aid. You partnered with Garth Brooks and the Teammates for Kids, Giving Soul. Gosh, what a cool thing that was. And Consider the Lily. Where did all this come from, man? And the list of guys that have been with you, it's all-star teams. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And somewhere along the line, as my wife and I were looking for like the charity, the organizations that had causes that really hit home for us. We love giving back, and we love being a part of lots of different charitable causes. We wanted the one that really hit home for us, though. We see people who are just so invested in children's hospitals, which we love supporting, by the way. And we've seen people who are just so invested in like what Tony Russo's Our Foundation and the pet causes. We love those kind of things. I'm a new dog owner, and I love those kind of deals too. Or like, cancer balls and these kinds of things. And we love supporting all that stuff. But there was something we were like, man, what is it for us? What's it going to be? Like, what's our thing? And so we just went to all the different ones until we kind of found the thing that was our thing. And that ended up being like the basic essential needs: the food, water, shelter. And we started with water. And it was because I was watching the Little League World Series, and there was a team there, and I can't remember if they were from South Africa or someplace. I can't remember where they were playing from, but they were like the thing that they were the most impressed about coming over was clean water. That they could go to the bathroom in their hotel and turn on the water fountain and the sink water and get clean water at all times. And the simple fact is, we can go to our toilet right now, Jay, and get cleaner water out of our toilets than most of the world drinks at all times. It really is crazy to think about. And, we did a couple of water projects that were pretty fulfilling. And then we did this one with a group called Water Mission. And what theirs was different. They weren't just digging a well, right? They dig the well, they put in the facility that's solar powered. It takes people that work in the community, so like you're creating jobs. But then they have this like great checkup system that comes through, and like they make sure that they're sustained and they make sure they're working and people know how to use them. And then we found out that 6 weeks after we put in one of these water mission programs, that 85% of the waterborne illness was gone in that area. It was like 1,500 people. And I went, holy crap. So like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, there's no more cholera in this area, basically. So people aren't feeling sick anymore. They're going to work. They're not sick anymore, so they can go to school. They're not sick anymore, so they can actually eat some breakfast and whatever. And so I'm thinking, man, I totally take that for granted, And then we got involved with some food programs and realized that there's just hungry people everywhere. It's not just in the United States. It's not just in these third world countries, but there's people that need help. There's people that need food and diet programs here in the United States that don't have it. And there's people that need food programs and meal deliveries and nutritional programs that literally save their lives all over the world. And so we thought, golly, all right, with this first year, let's do a big clean water project in Honduras. This really needing community, and then let's do a big food program in the United States. So that first year, it was actually $120,000 we raised. We gave every red cent of it to these two foundations. We gave $60,000 for a clean water program in Honduras, and we gave $60,000 for a food program in St. Louis through Operation Food Search, and we sent home book bags full of food for kids all school year long. And then and we did the water project in Honduras, and I went there to Honduras and I saw the difference made, and I went, dude, I'm addicted to this, man. I love the difference this makes. We literally, like, just to lay your head on the pillow and go, there's people who are alive right now that wouldn't have been without that work. That's pretty important, man. That's pretty impactful. And so now, once you do a project like that once, you can't just do one.
Yeah, no, you're in.
How can I do it more places all over the world? That's the key now.
So, Adam, how can folks get involved with Big League Impact? I know it's the website is bigleagueimpact.org, but you can donate there. They can get involved with their time. You guys are basically not turning anybody away.
No, we're not. We're there's on our website, bigleagueimpact.org. There's a donate now button. You can donate now to our causes. You can go on there and see all the different things that we're plugged into. We're working with, I think, over 100 major league athletes right now. We've got a lot of incredible stuff going on, but you can also look in to see how you can donate your time to help us too. We always need volunteers. We always need rides and donations for food and those kinds of things. So we'd love to have any support that we can get from y'all. You can go to bigleagueimpact.org and see all the information you want.
Family Golf and Learning Center. No matter your age or skill level, Family Golf and Learning Center, located in Kirkwood, has something for you. They've got it all: PGA and LPGA instruction, double-decker driving range, par 3 golf course, TrackMan simulators, a large short game green design to help you with all your shots around the green, bunkers, rough, and Zoysia fairway pitching. And now open, the Tahoma Bermuda Grass Tees, the best turf to hit from in St. Louis. It's all at Family Golf and Learning Center. To schedule a lesson or to find out more, visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. That's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Family Golf and Learning Center. We make St. Louis better at golf.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Hey, Jay Delsing here, and I know I speak for all of we golfers. We're always looking to improve our games. And for me, that means I go to one place, and that place is Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. Tom DeGrant opened his family business in 1975 with a goal of providing St. Louis with the finest in golf equipment, instruction, and technology. Whether you need a new rangefinder, your first set of clubs, or anything else you can think of, Pro-Am Golf has just what you're looking for. If you're a scratch handicapper or carry a 20 handicap, come visit Pro-Am Golf and inquire about a lesson from Tom DeGrant. He's been fixing golf swings and making St. Louisans better at golf for over 40 years. Get your gear, your lessons, anything else golf related where I go. That's Pro-Am Golf in Brentwood. You can also visit them at proamusa.com. That's Pro-Am Golf. I'm back with Adam Wainwright, and we're going to wrap up this great interview. And Adam, thanks so much for your time. We were just talking about Big League Impact, and folks, don't sleep on this. This is really making a difference all over the world. Adam, we got to talk about what's next for you, man. There's some great opportunities. I know you're starting to sing a little bit. You're all over the place, man.
Yeah, my wife said I traded in one job for 3. Yeah, so, a couple of years back, I started writing songs and playing, and it was you know, as a starting pitcher in the minors and big leagues, you got some time in between that you can pick up some hobbies. And I'm so grateful that I didn't pick up, you know, video games or something. I fell in love with playing guitar, and you know, I'm not the greatest guitar player, obviously, but I do love it, and I love writing. I love writing songs and creating new sounds and music. I think that's just so cool, man. There were a lot of artistry involved in that, and really studied some of the greats that have done it. And these last couple of years, I've worked with one of the great songwriters in the world named Gary Baker, who wrote a song called "I Swear," that was #1 in the world in every reporting country for 14 straight weeks. You know, John Michael Montgomery won a Grammy with that song, and then a group called All for One took it in the pop world all around. And he also wrote a song called "I'm Already There" that was #1 by a group called Lone Star, and 6 other #1s, and he's got tons of #2s, and just he's produced every Backstreet Boys album. He's guys been all over and every 98 Degrees and all kinds of stuff. The guy's been everywhere in the music world, and he and I have been writing together for the last couple of years. As a chance meeting I was playing some songs in front of a campfire at Matt Holliday's house one time, and his next door neighbor was a guy named Ryan Baker, and Ryan Baker's dad is Gary Baker, and so we met that way. But we've been making music ever since, and writing songs together. And about 2 years ago, I started writing some songs that Gary said, "Man, these aren't just campfire songs anymore. Like, these are songs you got to put out there. People need to hear these songs. This will be, you know, a blessing to people." And so it's been a blessing to me, the response I've had from so many people saying that it's, you know, that because look, Jay, I'll be honest. If one of my teammates came to me and said, "Man, I'm working on an album right now," I'll be like, "Oh, brother, what's this going to sound like?"
Exactly.
But you know, I've just had a lot of validation from a lot of incredible people in the music world, and it's given me a lot of confidence. But I've written some songs about my life, man, about being a parent, being a husband, and you know, traveling around this crazy world that I've been living, and I feel like we've got a great project we've done, and I got an album coming out February 23rd, full album coming out. I got one song out right now called "Time to Fly" that I wrote just for Cardinal Nation, man. It was just as appreciation for all the incredible people that poured into me for so long in St. Louis. But you know what? Next thing is for me, Jay, I'm playing a little concert in Orlando on the 29th of February, and then I'm going to play the Grand Ole Opry March 9th.
Wow. That's amazing. Adam, I love music and I suck at it. I really am not good at it. And I started picking up the guitar about 3 months ago, and I'll lay in my bed before I go to sleep and I'll just act like I'm playing. Just the sounds are so cool, even though they don't sound good. I can't figure out all the chords, but I'm not quitting. I love it.
No, don't quit. It's so cool to be able to pick up a guitar and play a song, and you know, if somebody goes, "Hey, you know how to play so-and-so?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And then play it and sing it. And they're like, "Dude, that was cool." And I'm like, "Thanks. I feel like that was pretty cool too." You know, I love that stuff. And I love being able to, I can hold court around a campfire, Jay.
I'm in whenever. I'll drive over wherever you are. That'll be a lot of fun. Adam, I really appreciate your time. I know how important family is to you. I know you're going to have this great career with Fox and get to talk more baseball and do all this stuff. But we here in St. Louis, and this thing gets heard around the country, a lot of people are going to find out that Adam Wainwright's way more than just a future Red Jacket wearer, man. You're going to have the kids on the stage with you. I know that's going to be a thing. It's going to be fun to watch.
I appreciate it, Jay. And you can also catch me on MLB Network and on Fox broadcasting games this year. So I'll be a busy man, but I also going to spend some time at home too. I want to make sure I am faithful to my wife about spending time with her and our kids, because I got 5 kids at home and a wife that come first and foremost.
And March 28th is going to be your first gig with the TV, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be in the studio with MLB on opening day, March 28th. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Adam, we really appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank y'all.
Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing you thousands of dollars. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year, which is 4 times the rate of inflation. If an unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready for that? Well, now you can be with a plan through CarShield. Even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. Your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. Traveling by car is a way of life. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are a daily essential. When you enroll in a car protection plan through CarShield, you can look forward to the following. The price will never go up no matter how many claims you file, or no matter how high the mileage on your car increases. CarShield offers protection plans that start as low as $100 per month. That's $100 per month. They have repair coverage for up to 5,000 different parts of your vehicle. Plus, when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road, you get 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance. You also get complimentary towing and rental car options. CarShield has my back when my car breaks down, and they can have yours too. Call CarShield today at 800-465-6550 or visit carshield.com. It's CarShield, proud sponsor of the Golf with Jay Delsing show.
Hi, this is Adam Betts from Family Golf and Learning Center. At FGLC here in Kirkwood, we feature a double-decker driving range, 2 large grass tees with Tahoma Bermuda grass. You want to work on your short game? We have a short game area too, which features a 20,000 square foot green, 3 bunkers, and Zoysia surrounds. Also at Family Golf and Learning Center, don't forget about our 9-hole par 3 course, the indoor TrackMan simulators, and our performance center. If you're looking for the best golf instruction, regardless of skill, we can help. Find out more at FamilyGolfOnline.com. That's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Family Golf and Learning Center. We make St. Louis better at golf.
Heading down the stretch on Golf with Jay Delsing. With Jay Delsing, I'm Dan McLaughlin. We've been loaded up in this particular show. We heard from the folks at Popticals. We also heard from Brad Henderson, SSM Health Physical Therapy. And Jay, great job on the interview there with Adam Wainwright.
Oh, my gosh. He's instant offense, Danny. The guy's wound up and positive and raring to go. So it was an honor to be with him.
Okay, we got a few questions rolling in. Jay at jdelsinggolf.com. You ready to roll?
Well, I love it. Let's have it. What do we got? What do we got this week, guys?
So this is Mike in South St. Louis. Jay having a tough time getting out the rough.
Oh, Mike.
Last summer and played the other day, he said, so how do I get out of the rough?
Well, and I feel for you right now, D. We talk about this all the time because of the time of year, right? We get a lot of rain. The mowers aren't out on the golf courses. If they ever mow, they'll occasionally mow a green, but they're definitely not mowing the rough. Mike, here's what I'm going to recommend. Look into some utility fairway woods, a 6-wood, a 5-wood, a 7-wood, even an 8 or a 9-wood. I know that sounds crazy, but they're making these woods. They're gonna have a little bit extra mass in them because of the heaviness of the head, and you're going to be able to get some. Having a 7-wood compared to a 4-iron, it's going to be a world of difference. So you get that marginal lie. You can get a little steep with that 7-wood. That ball will pop out of there, get up in the air, and go. So look into, and I'm not talking about a 2 or a 3 hybrid or even a 4 hybrid. I'm talking about, now if you have a 5 or 6 hybrid, give that a shot. I know some folks like those. But this utility wood, man, Danny, every time we go to a U.S. Open, guys are always putting in this utility wood for the rough because you just can't get that 4 or 5 iron on the ball all the time, but those utility woods can pop them up and be very, very handy.
Steve, South County, want to lower my handicap? Jay, help me out.
South County, man, we're loaded up. Thanks, guys, for reaching out. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Folks, if you're serious about lowering your handicap, we're going right to the green first. I want you to start working on your putts. I want you to start working on your long putts, your 30-foot putts. I don't want you thinking lag. I want you to hit them with good speed, but I want you thinking make, okay? And I want you to work on the speed control in your leg on your longer putts. And then I want you to do the clock drill. So get around the clock and knock those 2-footers in and those 3-footers in and get comfortable finishing those things off, okay? We're going to eliminate 3-putting. Amen. I want to eliminate 3-putting. I just played last week and I had 2 3-putts.
But what did you shoot?
I don't know. I played pretty well.
64
I shot
with 2
64.
3-putts.
I did, yeah. I had a good day. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we're going to go out from the green and move out a little bit, and we're going to start hitting little chips. We're going to stay within 5 feet of the green. We're going to start hitting little chips. When you're in the short grass, you can hit any club you like. When you're in the long grass, you got to get some loft, and you got to get a little angle so that grass doesn't hang you up. But we're going to start working on our short game and figure out how we can chip and pitch that ball closer to the hole. That's how your handicap will drop like a rock. You start pitching the ball and being able to get that thing up and down. That means you hit a bad drive occasionally, D. You chip out and get it to within 30, 40, 50 yards of that green. Up and down, it's like making 3 birdies.
How often do you do your clock drill on putting?
Oh, man. So when I start prepping for the Ascension Charity Classic, like I will this year, I'll start probably 2 months out and start doing that 4 or 5 times a week. And it puts pressure on you, man. So I start at 3 feet and then go to 4 feet and then go to 5 feet. And I'm standing over that last 5-footer. And if I don't make it, I got to start over again. That's a big deal. And you know, the funny thing is, it's as much about concentration, Danny, as anything. Because I'll start going, oh, I know how this thing breaks. And I'll just be, somewhere else with my head. And I'll miss an easy putt and just go, yep. But I commit to starting over, and I don't take that shortcut. So if you miss, man, you got to start over and go back over. Start from the beginning.
Jay, great show, man. This is a lot of fun.
Love it, D. Every week, look forward to being with you. Hit 'em straight, St. Louis.